Good afternoon, everybody. Eric Foster, National Policy Director for Cannabis and Hemp for Minorities for Medical Marijuana. And there's an important thing that's happening in the state of New Jersey right now, which is with respect to the medical marijuana program. And it's something that's happening in not just New Jersey, but a lot of states that are dual market states, be it if they're uncapped or capped in terms of licensing. The structure of having both an adult use and a medical program and how those function together. Think of a duplex house. Now, I'm from Detroit, so we have a lot of duplex houses, depending on where you're from. They may be considered brownstones or row houses, but it's basically where the house is next door to another house. And you're sharing a common foundation and you're sharing a common ceiling. And actually, you're kind of really sharing the common four walls, except there's a dividing wall in the middle. I say all that to say the medical side of the homes is basically been not just mistreated purposely, but it's basically become run down. While the adult use side has gotten all of the additional tune-ups, it's had regular maintenance, it's added new shingles, it's added new windows, the vinyl, not the glass, it's added a new furnace, it's got all of the bells and whistles. But the other side is still working off of material from 1955, and it hasn't gotten any upgrades in that house. So what you see, of course, is when it comes time for people to decide, well, which house am I going to live in? They want to live in the adult cannabis house versus the medical cannabis house. So states like New Jersey are trying to figure out, well, what do we do to reinvigorate those particular programs? And how do we make sure that medical can stand up? Well, we at M for MM have a few suggestions. One of the things that we believe would be an important suggestion for consideration is actually taking the step of adding research, but at a progressive level, medical cannabis research, both clinical and observational, with respect to product and health outcomes. Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and to a lesser degree, Colorado and California, but really Pennsylvania and Connecticut have been leaders in actually studying between the universities, the hospital centers, as well as the licensees, product development to ensure that strains of cannabis can be targeted and focused towards treating specific health ailments and seeing the actual application, like in a placebo type dynamic of strains as how they treat cannabis, how they treat illness. Well, tie that in with different health ailment challenges that minority communities face that are unique to those communities, like sickle cell in the African American community, or health issues that would be specific to different communities in the Asian American community, or the Arab American, or Chaldean American, or the indigenous Native American communities, or Hispanic. Well, this would be a good time for you in New Jersey, since you already have language in your statutory law right now for adult use and for medical, for research to really take that next step. Create a clinical registrant type of license like they have in Pennsylvania or they have in Massachusetts, or even we have in Michigan, although it's truly underused in Michigan, and really start lining up both in-state dollars to help support research and really get your universities like Rutgers and others to partner with Rutgers, Seton Hall, and others to partner with the licensees to do real studies on the not just observational, but clinical manipulation and development of cannabis related products that can be targeted towards specific health outcomes. Start off with pilots to document and demonstrate if certain strains can actually help treat and can cure different health related ailments. This is the time to take that step, to step out of the normal world and be a little bit more proactive and actually, if you want to build a medical cannabis industry back, and you want people who need it for medical purposes to see value in that side, and you want licensees to see value in being dual licensees, or maybe even just being medical focused, that is the way. States that are just medical only, like Oklahoma, Georgia, and Alabama, and others, you need in Pennsylvania. Well, Pennsylvania's already there, but Pennsylvania, keep it up. Don't stop, won't stop. Other states, if you know, you know that little reference I threw in. But that being said, those other states, start now. Be aggressive and proactive. Take advantage of the Blumenauer Amendment that protects your medical programs from DOJ interference, as well as the FinCEN guidelines as it relates to financial activity, banking, and the like with marijuana related businesses, and the FDIC and Fed Reserve 2015 guidelines as it relates to marijuana related banking activities as kind of your cover to actually be aggressive and put together real clinical study regimes and investment in clinical research licensing for your medical program so that if you do go adult use, you will have a robust medical program. The way I liken it to, in my perspective, is that the medical program is like your prescription medications. Now, I'm asthmatic, I got high blood pressure, and I've got nasal polyps, sinus issues. So I take sinus meds. I take, what else do I take? So I take sinus meds, I take asthma medication, and I take high blood pressure medication. Those are all things that I have to get with a prescription. Adult use is more of your over the counter that you can just go buy and get at the checkout versus having to go up to the pharmacy. If you want to make this work, New Jersey, you have the impetus that you can look at your next door neighbor and say, look, we think we're better than them. We can do this even more effectively and be proactive. So, this is a call to Governor Sherrill, as well as the Assembly and the Cannabis Regulatory Agency. Take those proactive steps, build real clinical research partnerships and investment between your hospital systems, your research universities, as well as your licensees. That's critical. Oh, and if you want to reach out to us at Minorities for Medical Marijuana to get more about our perspective when it comes to this, you can email me at eric@m4mmunited.org or visit our website, www.minoritiesformedicalmarijuana.org.